Welcome, everybody. I hate to start with something like this today, but it's a disgusting situation that we're dealing with out there. The anti-vaxxers are now saying that the death by suicide of a professional golfer must be related to the COVID vaccine. There's one little problem. There's no reason to believe that the golfer was vaccinated, and every reason to believe he wasn't, given that he said he wasn't interested in getting the COVID vaccine. This is one of those stories where it's just tragedy upon tragedy. And we have a physical tragedy, Grayson Murray taking his own life in the middle of a golf tournament, combined then with the tragedy of ignorance and idiocy that is plaguing this country like another virus, quite frankly. Where to even start? We start, I guess, with the ESPN report. Family says PGA Tour golfer Grayson Murray died by suicide. We don't have to go into the details of Grayson Murray. This isn't a sports show, but it made news that in the middle of a tournament, Grayson Murray died by suicide. There's no doubt about this. It wasn't suspicious. It's not, an Epstein sort of situation. This is what took place. But tragically, and without any hesitation, the anti-vaxxers, they only have a hammer. So every death looks like a nail to them. The anti-vaxxers are blaming the vaccine. An individual who tweets under the name Concerned Citizen, whose username is or was, it's now been suspended, B. Gates is a psycho, which tells you a lot about their perspective, tweeted, PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray dies suddenly age 30. Rest in peace. Reminder that this is absolutely not effing normal. Health officials need to conduct a full investigation into why young, fit, healthy people keep dying suddenly, although you already know why. Another tweeted, this one goes by the name Tanky, quote, very sad. I hope it wasn't due to the safe and effective vaccine. Rest in peace, Grayson Murray. Another person tweeted, Lars Pellinat, said, please note that it is totally normal for young, fit athletes to suddenly drop dead. Happens all the time since they started the corona vaccines. There's only one problem. By all accounts, Grayson Murray was not vaccinated. Why do we know that? Why do we believe that? Well, there's an article dating back to the vaccine era in the News Observer about Grayson Murray. And we have the article on the screen. We will link to it. If you scroll down, it's pretty unambiguous. If you scroll down the article, it says Murray is happy things are returning to normal in life and in professional golf now that so many people are getting their vaccines for the coronavirus. Not Murray, though. Not yet. Murray contracted COVID in 2020, posted he was in isolation. His symptoms lasted 8 days, but he has not been vaccinated. He said, quote, personally, I'm not into the scare of the whole thing. That's my take on it. Now that the vaccine is out, people are going to get it. If they choose not to get it, that's fine. I think eventually the tour is going to put it on us to get our own COVID test and pay for our own test, which would be a pain. That's their way of saying you'll have to go get yours, the vaccine. I don't want to, but I have family members who have. Why was he opposed to the vaccine? Well, he said technically it's not FDA approved. I don't know what people's complications will be years from now. I'll do it when it's FDA approved. I've had COVID. I'm not going to die from it. So we have certainly no evidence that he was vaccinated, and we do have an interview that suggests he was not. But there's a couple other important things here. Even if indeed Grayson Murray had been vaccinated, there is no evidence that people are dying from the vaccine. You had this guy, Brett Weinstein, recently say he believes 17 million people may have died from the COVID vaccine. And as I pointed out, I know many people who have died from COVID. I don't even know anyone who's had a serious reaction to the COVID vaccine, never mind a death. And don't you think that if there were 17 million people dead from the COVID vaccine, we would all know such individuals? Of course, I don't, and nobody in the audience told me of a single person they know that died from the vaccine. So even if he had been vaccinated, it would not mean that this death was related to the vaccine. The family said he died by suicide. And also worth mentioning, because they talk about young people suddenly dying, sudden cardiac death in young people is not actually up. The stories are getting more attention, but this goes back a very long time. Famously, we had basketball players. I remember when I followed basketball closely in the 90s, basketball players who had these sudden cardiac deaths. We've explored that in detail as well. So it is, as usual, sad. It's disgusting. It's depressing that we are hearing from folks who seem to think that there is something here. It is the tragedy here is a death by suicide. And the tragedy is how far we have fallen in terms of these anti-vax, anti-science, anti-thinking people. And by the way, the anti-thinking doesn't stop at vaccines. It also includes so-called assassination plots, which I want to talk about next. One of our sponsors today is Tychos, which provides an awesome free weekly 5-minute video series about the economy called The Weekly Comment. And it's hosted by Richard Vague. I've always found Richard Vague to be a premier economic expert. He's the former Secretary of Banking and Securities for Pennsylvania. And every week, Richard is covering economic topics that keep you up to date, really looking at the key economic issues of our time: U.S. debt, income inequality, forecasts for the American economy, economic challenges that are facing Europe and China, innovative policy ideas. Richard is the author of economic bestsellers, including A Brief History of Doom, The Case for a Debt Jubilee, and his newest book, The Paradox of Debt, which is a really interesting look at how government deficit spending in the U.S. during the pandemic era mostly benefited the top 10%. The $6 trillion in government deficit spending in the U.S. in the nearly 3 main pandemic years increased household wealth by $31 trillion. That's the paradox of debt, according to Richard Vague. And in his weekly video series from Tychos called The Weekly Comment, Richard is excellent at taking really complicated economic issues and making them accessible to anyone. Go sign up for free. The link is down below.